see a little bit. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good vibes, good energy, good people. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. And also, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. Love you guys, and we got to get this thing going today. We got a lot of topics to talk about. Also, we're going to be diving into love. We're going to be jumping around the place today, just getting everybody's hearts warm enough to go into these cold amount of days that we're about to encounter, because I've seen so many things going on social media as far as the past week and weeks in the past, and I have a feeling of what's going to be coming to the future. So I want to bring that to you guys. I also just want to let you guys know I appreciate all the love I've been getting on my videos. Shouts out to one of my favorite supporters. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, Laricia. Always supporting my videos, always giving me good word, and the energy is always felt. So love you guys, and let's just get it going, man. Let's just get it going. Let's see what's going on today. What do we have here? What do we have here? So number one, I want to give a it's like it's been a crazy thing going around. I don't know this person, but I wanted to bring this person to you guys so you guys can have some kind of understanding that the FBI or the feds, it's not a race. I've seen a lot of people talking about, oh, they're only going after this type of person or this type of person with this skin color. It's not that. The FBI they're not really, it's not about race. It's really not about race. It's all about this and how you get this and what you do with this. That's in turn going to, if you over abuse your power, trafficking, anything that the feds are on you, most likely it's not going to have anything to do with your skin color. So I kind of scratched that out, but I understand that, I never knock people's ideas or whatever they feel like, it's going on, because in the past we have seen a lot of things that can point that way. So I don't want to ever knock anybody's opinion on anything, but I just feel from just how me looking out, hey, what's up? There you go. Much blessings. Now I feel good. Blessings on blessings. Now I feel real good. Okay, so yeah, so a snowboarder, Ryan, he's wanted from the FBI for like this coke bust. And the reason why I brought that up, not a lot of people know a lot of snowboarders that I know, but it just goes to show you that it's not about the feds, running down on these people. It's not about skin color. It's really about the things you do behind the scenes. And if it's on their radar, and a snowboarder is just as popular as an entertainer, or if it's on their radar and you're popular enough to get, across their desk, they're going to look into it. And that's what I think has been going on. Yeah, you're the best. I really appreciate you. You know that. It's Friday. I was just talking about you. Wait till you rewind back. I hope I pronounced your name right too. Number two, before, I seen something. I seen some people iffy about it, but Cassie, she's going for her she's trying to come, for her comeback. So I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I see people saying, oh, now that she did this and did that. Look, one thing doesn't have to do with the other. Number one, her dreams were erased and put into the hands of Diddy. So whatever he had going for, I heard like when she first got signed to him, he would like make up these flyers and send her to venues to sing and stuff and put her in like this artificial world of stuff that he paid for. And it wasn't boosting her career forward. It's just like saying like if your family packs out the club for you and they just buy and make sure everybody come in there and then they stuff you in there, it's not necessarily saying that they're in there for you. Or if Diddy makes up a flyer and he starts sending them out, that's all his work. She really wanted a career. So the artificial career that he was presented to her was just to hold her back from her career so he can have his way with her. And we understand that now. So if she wants to present her music and her real self, I think she has a lot to talk about. A lot of people write books, but a lot of artists, you'll see them, that's the way they express themselves if they're true artists, and that's their escape. So if they want to express themselves about their life in real time, why not put it in an album? Because that would be the best platform for them, that they know best how to do it. So I would love, and especially you think that a Cassie album is not going to do good, you're out of your mind. Everybody's going to tune into that. I mean, I'm going to tune in to see what her real, her feelings are. She might put everything in song. So That's something I would really like to see. That's something I really would like to hear and see. And if she goes through with it and has the strength to go through with it, yeah, I'm gonna champion that. And especially in these times with music, I want to hear more love music and more music about real life situations. And not necessarily have to be love. It can be a situation you went through that can relate with something I've been through or somebody else been through. That's a down situation, but just giving it some light. Because at the end of the day, you're where you are right now. So that'll be that's something I'm really gonna be looking forward to. What's up, y'all? Another thing that we're gonna stay on the Diddy for a little bit. Tiffany Red, she says Diddy is being held accountable and not being targeted because he is a black man. That's a kind of like the same thing I was saying with the with the feds. A lot of people, and this is not. I never point fingers at my own people, and I'm gonna tell you the reasons why. It's because I understand that not everybody has that level of understanding. And what we do know as a culture that we have been mistreated in the past. And some of us carry that on with us. Excuse me. Some of us carry that on with us in our lives. And the rest of us, we try to find understanding in it, and it gives us a better eye and a better, sharper way to present ourselves. And just knowing that it's out there is enough for us to go and do what we have to do. Some people hold that above them, and sometimes it holds them back. So every situation they see that might have somebody from the culture or same skin color, they first thing that alerts in their head is that they're being mistreated, and that's not the way to think. It's not the way to think, because 9 out of 10 times, I would say 8 out of 10 times, it's not what you see, for face value. Sometimes it can be just, it might be two people with different backgrounds or different skin colors, and it could be just two men clashing, like a man thing, like just men versus men type of situation. So you never know what it is. Don't just call it that stuff. Don't just do that. Another thing, I don't know, this is something that's underground in YouTube, and it's like just touching a little bit of mainstream because the argument went down yesterday. And I'm jumping all over the place, but this is something I don't want to leave my head. Remy Ma versus Tay Rock in an argument about Papoose and Remy Ma. Are they still together? And the relationship as far as it's where it stands today. And the argument kind of ensued that, okay, so for people that don't know or people that don't watch battle rap is like a hobby watch for me. I love battle rap just because of the lyrics, strong lyrics, back and forth action. It's damn near a sport, but I heard somebody say it's more like theater on the Loaded Luck show. You guys got to tune into battle rap. It could open your mind up to things as well. Those guys, they really have a lot to say, and it's that back and forth action. So Tay Rock was going back and forth with Remy, I believe on Twitter, X, and he was explaining he once, I guess the guy that she was accused of being with while she was with Papoose, excuse me, Eazy The Block Captain. Tay Rock got into argument with Remy about him, saying, things as far as, them being together and her, just sleeping around on Pap, and this thing just blew up on Twitter. And my whole thing is, I was a little confused in as far as just when Remy responded back and she was going back at him, it kind of gave me a different type of energy. And I'm going to tell you the reason why, because now I'm confused a little bit. Now it's more open. Now the case is back open, in other words, because the reason why I laid off of that, Remy Ma and Pap, I realized they have family, they got kids. And one of the main keys, the reason why me personally I laid off of it, is because Papoose didn't really come to the forefront and say, oh, she did this or so-and-so did that to me, So I looked at it like, this could be like they might have settled things in the behind the scenes, and I don't want to, get in the middle of this or just be that nosy type of content creator. But then in between, I've seen battles with Remy and Eazy The Block Captain, because they do have a battle. They have a battle. How can I put this? They have like a, in the battle leagues, they're different like owners of different battles. So we have URL Smack. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of Smack. He's the most popular one because he's the one that invented this whole DVD era coming into the, battle rap to bring it to those stages. But then, she has her own. So Remy has her own setup battle league, and it's also with Eazy The Block Captain. He runs a battle league called The Trenches. And we, as just the people, we see them together, working their battle league, but nobody really says anything about them, dealing with each other. And I think at this point, people are being that Tay Rock and her were going back and forth. It leaves the case open because of Remy responses saying that, because she's claiming that she never, in other words, that what you think happened is not what went down. And that's kind of the reason why I didn't touch it. But it also leaves people open to say, so what did happen? So from the beginning, this thing kicks off with somebody, saying that Papoose went to the battle show and he punched Eazy. Eazy fell to the floor, and the fight was broken up. And from that point on, we never seen eyes on this stuff, and it was just a lot of talk. But people said that they were behind the scenes and they saw these things happening. And even in some battle raps, people were mentioning this situation. So now it's kind of like, if she's saying that she never messed with Eazy, because he's a younger guy out of Philly, out of Philadelphia. Philly dudes are really great when it comes down to battle rapping. Period. They're like our cousins out here in New York. So he's out there and he's a young man, and people are looking like they're dating, but she's giving the vibes now that they're not dating. So that's going to be something that's going to be hitting the because they've been going back and forth, her and Tay Rock, and it's going to spark, probably, most likely, we'll probably get a battle out of this, and it'll probably be Tay Rock versus Eazy The Block Captain. But where are we taking this? Because when there's real love involved, I don't know if just going straight to the stages to battle is going to solve as much as if people just have a sit down, or maybe a better understanding. Because the rumors in these YouTube streets is that, she was messing with, and I don't know. I've even seen little videos now that, people are pointing out at certain birthday parties and things like that. They weren't close to each other. So there might have been some kind of friction going on in their home as far as Papoose and Remy. But we don't know if it was enough friction that they separated, or you never know. That's like when you're in that's the reason why when I speak on certain situations, I just try to put in my helping, like, advice. As much as the information that's been presented, I try to gather that all up and just give you my take on that. So from what I see and how it looks, it kind of does look like, maybe something probably could have been going on, but people might have just over inflated it into something that it's probably not. Because I don't see, Remy's a grown woman. She's not, she's not like we all know Remy Ma. She's not like timid, or she's not like a keep it, if in the tuck, if it ain't what it is, then she's not going to be, the type to, she's not the scary type, in other words. So I'm waiting to see. I just seen them going back and forth, and I was just like, man, when it comes to love and things like that, you don't want to put that's why the old school saying is, don't put your business out in the street, because once your business is out, everybody has their takes on it. But you should always keep your love tight, especially when it comes to relationships in these times, and knowing that so many people could be so deceptional. I don't see why people won't want to try to get up with somebody and work it out. It's one thing about, having a whole bunch of females around or adoring you or things like that, but at the end of the day, you got to really man up and realize that you have to point your love in the right direction. And not everybody that says they love you, or everybody that says they have your back, or sometimes all they want to do is have sex. So you have to kind of separate yourself and see what a person's goals as far as relationships, and what do they want out of the relationship that maybe you can add to it, and you guys can come together and make this thing last a little longer than some of these relationships. Some of these relationships, they don't even last long, and it's sad. But at the same time, love is not a short-term thing. If you love somebody, it's hard, even if you do break up with them, to even get rid of that love, because you started something and you put everything into it. That's what it should be all about. Ladies, don't go out there and just spread your love wide like that. Please don't go out there and do that. Take your little steps, and learn how to understand what a man and the things that make us who we are. Once you start breaking that down and start learning that, like, men, we have these certain traits about us, and you find those things out, you start to realize, oh, these are things that I can put up with, and these are the things that I think that I can maybe try to fix in him and make him better because of the things that I'm going to bring to the table. Keep that in mind. Don't go off of social media to tell you anything about love. They'll tell you that, love is running out, how it's a scarce amount of people. Meanwhile, we all looking on social media, and there's so many people that have great people, good-hearted people that just that little tad of mistrust and can't trust or been hurt before is kind of blocking them from opening their eyes to the people that feel the same way that they can fall in love with and have and spend for the rest of their life. Because I'm one of them. I'm a type of person that if the trust is not what it is 100%, then the relationship is just not going to be good enough for me, no matter what, because everybody that I love and put my heart into, I don't question. I don't have to question them. I don't have to look around, look in their phone. I'm not into that. My life is just, it's not patterned that way for me to just be mistrusting of the one that I really want to put everything into. It's kind of like sticking your money in the bank and don't know if you're going to get it back. You don't want to have that feeling. It's like, come on now, you really want to have build something with somebody. And to do that, you have to start from the ground. You have to start from the ground no matter what age you are. Some people say the older you are, you have to like speed it up. No, the older you are, the slower the process. The more you guys have a better understanding of the things you want, the older you get. So I don't really want people to like blind themselves and think that love could pop up. So I'm telling you, you know, you'll shed a tear to hear a story of an older couple falling in love at an older age than a younger couple falling in love. See, when you see a younger couple fall in love, you know if you've been through it and you know that it's gonna be, you more concentrate in these times on, oh, they gotta know how to make it through. You see an older couple, you question like, wow, y'all made it. So it's like that made it feeling, like I once tell you again, it's that feeling that people are yearning for in these times. They want to make it to that point. They don't want the beginning stages, you know, the sexual parts and the all of that stuff it's the best. And we all love it. But we still want to have that strong sense of I can trust that person. I know no matter what, if anything should happen to me, they got my back. More than you should feel they have your back more than your own family, to get them to become that new family that you want to build. And it doesn't necessarily mean that because a person is older that you have to always put in your head, family, I have to build a family. Don't think of that. Like I tell you, love has a different sense of opening you up. It's not necessarily meaning that you have to have like a whole family, a whole legacy, and that all of those legacy and those big family things are triggers to a lot of us because that structure is a traditional structure. There is a new structure that you don't have to step outside of your marriage, step outside of your relationship, and still feel that same love as a marriage or as that unit. And that structure goes like this. You first of all, when you start with a person, the loving times, the most fulfilling times, you want to save the moments. So you got to look at it like, oh, we about to start some new moments. We about to have some new times and even if I did this in the past, I want to do it again with you. I want to experience this with you so I want to put some more smiles on your face and I want to warm you up to the things that I love. And these are the things that's going to make the love journey a lot more fulfilling than you just starting off where you left at from the last relationship. The last relationship wasn't the relationship you were supposed to be in. That was just a relationship to open your eyes to there's other people, other types of men out there. The social media man or the social media woman that is presented, it's artificial. It's almost like a person that, okay, the female, it's the person that she got everything down. She's the best looking of her, you know, everywhere she goes, everybody wants her. The guys, he has the most money, you know, he's the toughest guy around. All the ladies want him, but you know, that's all artificial stuff. Grow with the person, and then people will start looking at you two guys as the most beautiful, the best, and you'll get that sense because they don't know what you guys built. They just see the love. They don't have the same. Y'all feel the love. They just see it. When you see it and feel it are two different things. You can't mix the two. Seeing things can be so deceiving. You can see two people just hugging and kissing and they just met the other day and, you know, the next day they're running from each other. Feeling it is more like, oh, you sit down and see that these two people, they're like almost like best friends and finishing each other's words, and the foods and the way they eat, the way they walk, everything is starting to pair up. It's almost like a cell phone pairing up, and it's almost like that. You start to become one. You see two people and they swear they're in love, but they still feel like two separate people. That ain't really, that's just a person. They're trying to find something, but they're both trying to find it. And I don't think that they're both trying to find it to be together. They're just both trying to find it to see how it feels. Now that's a difference. That's a young man's game. The older you get, you want something more solid in your life. You want everything that you do to be of value in your life. You don't want people keep hurting you and hurting you and hurting you. That's the thing that hurts your mental. It's hard to find somebody that's going to think on the level like how you are thinking and the way you want to be loved. So you have to train people to show people how you want to be loved. If you have things that you just can't accept, then you make that, put that in the forefront and let that man know, or let that female know what you don't like that type of thing. And people appreciate that better than you hiding like, oh, I thought you wasn't gonna be so angry that I was talking to another dude. Well, you didn't really explain to her, and she's really going off of what she thinks. You feel you looking like you suave. It won't be no issue. And now when you know you're ready to take her head off because she was just talking to the guy at the job. She didn't like the guy, but you have a problem with other guys being around her. So you have to learn a person and teach them how to love, because we all have flaws in that. We all have flaws in that. And social media make you think that everybody's after your love. But they can't be after your love if you already love her and she already loves you. But it's only when you feel like they can invade what you have is when somebody opens their home up to somebody else, and they open their heart up to somebody, because usually it's just passion. Oh, oh, don't tell me. And these times when you do one thing wrong, it's like, oh my God, cancel the relationship. You're running separate ways. Why is that? Why? Like, what's the sense of doing that if we know that we all make mistakes? Now, if it's something that you can't, if it's something you really can't deal with, like a cheating, a lot of females, they don't deal with that. Like, you do it one time and they're ready to run because it's too much. If that is the case, then present that in the beginning of the relationship, and that's going to be respected. So when if somebody do make that mistake on you, and now you don't even have to tell them. They already know, like, oh, I messed up. She's not staying with me, y'all. She's really not going to stay with me. I know it. She's good. Nah, she's not staying. So you have to, make your boundaries as you go to. Make your boundaries. Don't open your love up to everybody, and figure a person out before you even present yourself. Don't be scared as a female to even show your best self to a person too, and let them see who you are, because a lot of times, a lot of females are holding back now because the way people say it is on social media could be, I'm gonna tell you from just a male side, it could be very scary on our part too. So being approachable, opening yourself up and letting people know, there's certain ways you can be, you don't have to like dress all sexy to have that beautiful open look to, what's next to come. The way I look at it as a fashion designer, sexy is always more revealing than dressing more towards your energy and how you feel. Like sexy is more like anybody could dress sexy and open up a little piece and show a little nip and all of that stuff. That's like a lust language. We're talking about a love language where your energy, people are like, wow, I want to get to know more of her. When you're out there, you have a sense of, I'm single, but I'm open to love. You want to dress in that and move in that energy. And that's what attracts the love to you. That's what will bring you somebody that can understand that. A lot of dudes are, they're not mature. They didn't mature yet, When you can't separate your true self from the person you're trying to be out there as a male, then you haven't really reached the level of that commitment and let people know, now this is really me. When I'm with her, I want that type of respect where it's just me and her, and I'm going to leave the fellas alone. If you see a dude always tending to the fellas and stuff, he's still playing in that young mind, that young mind frame. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we when you see a man and his eyes or his heart is open to love, you have to know how to detect that. As a female, that's your job. That's you bring life. And you have the superpower to detect that. You know when a guy is talking to you and you get closer to him, and then that feeling you get when you want to enjoy that conversation. You want to see him again. You want to talk like that, and you go into your job and you speak to somebody else and you don't get that feeling. You look around like, no, I'm gonna call that person at lunchtime, and I want to get up with that person. He made me feel a certain type of way, or she made me feel a certain type of way. These are the things. That's the things that give little triggers to your heart, and that's the language, the energy you're supposed to be in. Open to love, not open to the things that possibly could happen that you don't want to happen. Nah, that's not being open to love. That's being aware of all the trauma that you had or endured in the past. Don't Yeah, it is. Don't have a mindset of everybody's cheating. Everybody's not cheating. No, no, I can't go for that. The people that's doing that and the people that's taking advantage of other people, think about all that's going on in social media. What type of people do you think that is? That they can watch with this Diddy and females getting hurt on the daily and with the elections. You think that type of person, they can sit through all of that and still go out there and hurt people? That's the people you have to stay far away from. With all that's going on, all of us as human beings, no matter what age you are, we are trying to find more value in ourselves. And once we find that value, we start to understand, no, hold on, if I could find somebody else with the same value, oh, we up. That's the real rich. That's the real rich. That's the real rich. When you can look at somebody that has millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you look, and y'all are just sitting there having your own time in your own space, your own bubble, and you're not more concentrated on it. Your connection is bigger than the money. The real love. Not Diddy's just love. That's just a symbol to act like I love you and then drug you, and then deception, lies. The real love is the love that you're going to feel. People don't have to say anything. You guys can take a look at each other and know that later on, y'all can't wait to get up or be alone. So don't be fooled by the artificial love they present to you, because when you find it and the real love hits you, you won't probably even want to, I won't see you guys. You probably like, where she went? And a couple months later, oh, I found, that's the true stuff. That's the real stuff right there. That's the stuff that you constantly, no matter what, you always look forward to it. That right there, never ever stop looking forward to the things that you want and the things that make you feel good. And if love is what it is, you never stop that. That's a journey. Everybody won't mind jumping on that journey. Trust me, people have so many problems and so many different things to distract their minds on social media. Man, if that's your issue, you're doing good. You're doing good. Because when you find it, you're going to be even doing better. Another thing I came across, it's a sad thing. Fat Joe, and I'm just going to say allegedly because there's two parents involved, just because Fat Joe is the celebrity out the two. I don't want to just highlight it, but from what he said and from what I can see, Fat Joe, he said in an interview that, when his son, when he was I guess his ex was pregnant with his son, and when they was in the hospital, the doctor told him that it was gonna be hard. They're gonna have a little more trouble raising their kid because he had Down syndrome. And Fat Joe said that his baby mother said that I think we're gonna have to put the kid up for adoption because that's hard. And Fat Joe didn't want to do that, and he kept the kid. God bless Fat Joe. He has a loving heart. And that made me see a different light of Fat Joe. And I don't want to really talk down on the other person, because you know what? As far as his baby mother, when a kid needs special attention, I should say, it takes a part of your life, I would say a part of your life out that you might not necessarily be ready for or was prepared for. It's not easy. And I have some friends that, it's a little tougher on their end as being a parent, And there's other, there's so many services that you can have that can help you. But just her saying that, it sounded so harsh the way he explained it, that it just goes to show you never know. You just got to be a loving person. You never know. You can have babies and things might not just go I won't say the right way, but things might not just go the way you suspected it to be. And maybe God, the love that you have, God wants you to share that with a kid that has special needs. Don't let social media, society blind you from the fact that we're humans and we all have flaws. If your kid has special needs, and you give special love, you get like don't. And I would have so many pictures on. I'm not gonna stop. If I'm the type of person that put up pictures on my kid, just I'm gonna put my kid all over the place. Every time you see me, I will be with my kid. Special needs, I'll always be there. And I will definitely cut off a few things that maybe in my life that I might not necessarily need to do anymore, just to add that extra time for my kids. So being that God bless Fat Joe enough with the energy to stay on those stages, keep his name relevant. So behind, he had a bigger obstacle, and that was to feed his son that has special needs. And just that is the thing that makes a man, or a parent, I should say, because it can happen to anybody. We don't know. There's a lot of health issues. The food that we eating is not the same as back in the day. So when something like that comes up, that's when you put extra love into the family, not when you take the love away. So that was heartbreaking. I don't really want to even stay too much on that. That's how heartbreaking that was for me, because so what? Your kid needs extra attention. Just learn it's a new life. So with that new life comes new responsibilities. So if you have a new life that needs special, that means that you have to add something new to your life to learn more about these things. I've seen in a recent interview, I believe it was on the Breakfast Club with T.I. and with Young Dro. And I watched the bond that these guys had, and the friendship that these guys had. It was commendable, because it just goes to show you the type of person T.I. is. Yeah, he won a big lawsuit of millions and millions of dollars. I forget how much millions now, but I believe it's triple digits millions. And he's up there, and he still finds the time to the people that he always cared to, his best friends, his family. And he still finds the time to be that helping hand. That shows you a real man. It shows you that the money, whether he has it or not, he's always going to be T.I. And in this situation, it's like, if God bless you with the opportunity to go out and make that much money, and you have a child that needs special needs, you put that money in the right places. You invest into the things that your child is going through. Down syndrome, okay, so I'm going to put my money into some groups that can help out some other parents that's going through these special needs, and open up a place where special needs schools, where parents can have some kind of mental help, because it's not easy on the parents' end. Not going on the kids' end, but let's go to the parents. You think it's easy for a parent just to pick up and learn a new medical task that they have to raise a kid with? Not even, sometimes it's their first kid, and that's the first time they're raising a kid, so that's double. And sometimes because of that strain, the relationship breaks apart, because you guys' love was not strong enough to know that if your girl lost a leg, you're still going to be on her side. So the first little thing that goes wrong, or you feel that's different, you run and you start blaming yourself in the future. These are the things that you have to make sure that your love is strong enough to be equipped to whatever comes, whether your kid doesn't come the way you expect. You have to, don't you know there's many couples that they can't even have kids, and they still go out there and put their love, double that love, and go get a kid, adopt a kid. So there's so many people out there that's willing to spread their love. It's sad that there's people out there willing to, just hold their love back because a kid has special needs. That kid could be the same kid that changed the world. Meanwhile, those special needs could mean you have to find, everybody has a superpower. That's the way I look at life. I don't look at life like, because don't you know, like when you see people in say like a wheelchair or something, and they have no legs, don't you know the truth behind that all their other senses are raised? Did you ever realize that? That's the truth. Those are facts, that if a person is blind, their other senses become so strong that it gives them a guidance to the senses that's missing. And once you figure that out, you start to realize, so that means that I could exercise these senses and I could become stronger. And that's how you read people. That's how you feel love better, and you see more in people. That's where that comes from. because you have stronger senses. When you see somebody is emotional, that's a part of their senses. Something triggers them and they feel some way. They're very, so these are the things that when like problems and things you never expected arrive, you don't have to be the strongest person and know how to deal with it, but you got to get through with it. Some of the smallest and most humblest people got through some of the toughest situations that some of the toughest people wouldn't even stand a chance to go through and give up on. So you never know how life works and what God throws you. You just got to keep God first and ask him for the best. And then he'll give that to you. But sometimes when he give it to you, you have to, when you open up that package, that surprise, keep that love in there, because whatever's in that package, you make the best of it. And that's how you make the best of your life. A lot of people don't have it like everybody else. And the comparisons and the me versus yous that's been going on, I'm sick of it. I'm totally sick of it. To me, I always felt like if you're going to want to follow somebody, follow them for their good things. Don't follow them for nothing that they're doing wrong and their mistakes, because those same mistakes, you're going to make them. You're going to make those mistakes. So be mindful of the people you have around to love and how to love. A lot of people don't even know how to love. Once you learn how to love, man, with that feeling come back, it's so different. You're supposed to grow with your partner. I see a lot of people looking like, they, especially with the over-sexualization, oh my God, you see on social media, you can see so many different things. And so you're supposed to experience all that sexual stuff with your partner. It's a whole new thing. If whatever you guys do is what you guys do, like in a relationship, no matter how many times you had sex with people in the past, when you're in a relationship and you're in love, you are learning how to love each other and make love to each other together. This is new all the time. Don't let nobody out there call you this and put names on you. Those are all names put upon people that don't know who they are. Once you know who you are, you can't call somebody out their name because they're not going to answer to it. If you call me something besides me or underneath, I'm not answering to that. I'm not going to answer to that. It doesn't wake me up. That stuff doesn't wake me up in the morning, and it definitely doesn't keep me going. Everything, if you notice about me, everything that I keep your mind always thinking about there's more to this. And that's the reason why, I tell you guys about imagination, because a lot of people think that just because you can't see it, these things are not possible. Well, there's a lot of things you can't see that you can create, There's a lot of things that we don't understand that you can at least try to figure out, like we have to put ourselves in a place knowing that there's other things bigger and greater than us. Once you get into that narcissistic, like that, it just puts your mindset. Look at how Kanye West and all these people are so lost. It's not because of their music. We love their music. It's because of their mind, the way they think, the way they treat people. All of those things come from being misled, guided by money, guided by greed, and guided by these artificial things that make you feel some kind of way, when all of these things are they're all in you. You have to know how to bring these things out and present them to people. It's not that I sit here and I just want to, it's not like a preaching thing for me. It's almost like a life thing for me. This is how I move, and I still have questions. I still have questions why some people do the things they do. But I have better understanding than I did in the past, because the more I meet up with good people like y'all, people correct me. People get to know me. People want to know more, and people want to figure out things in life. A lot of things are not going the way we want nowadays, especially with the job market and things like that. People are not being compensated, so you have to find some kind of fulfillment in the things you do or the people around you. Yeah, you might not have the biggest check coming to you today or next week. But with that check, that little piece of check, you have a little savings on the side that's putting that little extra smile on your face. You got to find the good in things, even when it's hard. Because don't let the clothes and the material things be your depression and your downfall. Because when you get the money, you realize the hurt that all that stuff brought you for trying to want those things, and the people that was wearing those things that you wouldn't even care nothing about it, and you don't even want to wear that. Like, oh, they're wearing that? No, let me find something that's more closer for myself. Because I don't represent that type of energy. And remember what I told you guys, how you present yourself from the years of 2025 and beyond is going to be the most important thing. Because if you don't realize, people are being judged on how they present themselves, and people are being put in court on how they present themselves. You just don't see it. If I just went out there with locks and just, I could be confused as one of these guys that's sliding if I dress the wrong way, if I present myself the wrong way. I don't want to put a gun in your face. I'm trying to put knowledge in your mind. So if I go out there and not aware of how I'm presenting myself and how I display myself, then I get lost in the bunch. I know that as a black man, I know that. I know that behind me, I have people that love me, and I can't put myself in that position. I wasn't raised like that. I can't come online and just act like I'm somebody else. There's people out here that know me. There's people that out here that cherish me and the things that I help people with. I can't come up here in front. I can't do that. It's just, it won't work with me. There's so many people that love me out there. So there's no way I can present myself as somebody else. It's not gonna work. I know too many people. I couldn't come up here and lie to you about this and lie to you about that, because those are the people that people are just getting to know, but people know me out there, you know? So there's no way I would present myself or bigger or smaller than somebody else. Come up here and lie to y'all. For what? For what? For what? For a few more views? Or talk about somebody for a few more views? It don't make sense. So once we keep a strong mindset, no matter what you put your target up. Or what's my target? Love might be my target. Financial job might be my target. Family might be my target. You put your target up and you keep firing at it. And then after a while, you get a solid shot. That's how it goes. I don't really, like when it comes to like YouTube or any of these platforms, the reason why I chose YouTube as far as like, you know, just connecting with people is just because of that easy sense of me. You know, this is where the conversation is being held, and I see a lot of my people being misguided because their upbringing, they feel like everybody comes up that way. No, everybody don't come up that way. And not all men think like the way that some of these people are presenting themselves. So I have to squeeze through the crowd to scream or say the loudest curse word so everybody can hush up and listen to what I gotta say, because I've experienced things and I can see things at a different lens, and that's what brought me here. I feel like it's more easier to connect with people on YouTube. Not because I can make a few dollars. What the hell? Do you see some of these people putting themselves in positions, and it's so open, and it's so, you can see it. If you do anything to put up content about anybody, say anything about anybody, then you know that that person has a different intentions when it up on here. It's, you know, and that's not to talk about anybody, you guys. That's just saying that, you know, entertainment is deeper than we think. You can entertain somebody and being funny, or you can entertain somebody being truthful. There's a feel good about knowing something that you didn't understand yesterday that you understand today. There's a good feeling in that. There's a good feeling in that. There's a good feeling in understanding, and people don't get that. But once you start learning that and you start realizing, wait, hold on, that made me feel good. And how did I do that? Oh, that tasted good. What was that? Let me try to cook that. And once you get into that, like, questioning, and you start to realize the value of life is way bigger than what people present on social media. It's not even worth it. Not even worth it, you guys. I want to give y'all all the loving today on this Friday. Now, you know, something that this is allegedly, but I want to bring it to you guys because we might hear a lot of this information over the weekend. So let's start it with, is it true that Macy's, they're going through a legal battle for a cover-up with Diddy? Because I guess he sexually assaulted somebody in Macy's, and they probably did like a little cover-up and not showing it on camera. But you see though how it go? It's that money. Because they had a deal with him now with Sean Jordan and his clothing, and now he go through. But y'all got to pay attention to what's going on. I know half of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is going to sound crazy, and maybe some of it is crazy. But let me tell you, his lifestyle of sexual assault has become so regular, or the norm for him, that he knew these little points when he got caught, he could pay himself out. Because I won't say everybody, I don't want to put that on my people, but a lot of people will take money over circumstances, or because they have that money is everything for them. And it's sad, but damn, man. So that's possibly a lawsuit. And when you take a blind eye to something, that like somebody's doing something to somebody that's like just wrong, and you take a blind eye to that, and you know that you was raised different, or that's not you, and you take a blind eye to that, that hurt, that trauma, you become part of it. That blind eye, you turned around and she was screaming and he did whatever and pulled down her stuff, and then he did whatever, and you walk your way and you hear those screams until you lay down in your bed. That karma becomes a part of you. And just because you feel like you might not be able to run over there and say, hey, what are you doing? Or just because you stood back from holding that, that's what links that karma with you. That crying or that cry out is everything. A lot of people cry out before they commit harm against themselves. They cry out before they go into doing something. They cry out. But people keep a closed ear before the cry out is where you're supposed to solve the problem. But when they cry out and feel like nobody's listening, that's when that mental chemical imbalance comes in. They can do anything and they usually get themselves in trouble. We got to be aware as human beings who we are. If you feel some kind of way, or if you're the type of person that says, you know what, if somebody do something to me, I want to do that 100 times to them, then check yourself. Check yourself. Don't tell nobody you're checking yourself, though. You know how many people I know? I so many different personalities I have of people, that a lot of close friends. I have some close friends that, due to their hurt and their trauma of their upbringing, that they stay with like an attitude with them, and it was kind of like you can say like a stress-proof they walked with. And some people could confuse that with, oh, they're always mad or they have attitude, but it's what they took in. If you can restructure that and present yourself, the stuff that took in, put that in a place of, oh, that's just a moment, that's just a memory, watch, this is what I did with that. You fight everything that's next to come. So anytime you see something negative coming your way, or somebody that rub you the wrong way, you don't have to go back at them and do 10 times worse to them, because that becomes a part of you. Now you change routes and you go that way. Oh, why was I here anyway? You start blaming it on yourself. There's a lot of good reasoning in blaming things on yourself, having accountability, even if you're not the one to blame. But you blame yourself because you know that you're trying to get your mind to a point where you don't end up in these situations. So you're not mad at yourself for the situation. You're mad at yourself because how'd you get into the situation when you're supposed to know that before going there? And that's what makes you a sharper person, mentally and physically. The first guy to put up your dukes is always going to be the first guy to hit the floor. The guy that sit back and watched him the whole time and watched what he was doing and watched how he was going to move. As he put up, he's ready to pace himself and get through this. Take his steps on winning this type of war. Not only we're dealing with a mental war in these times, but we're also dealing with a spiritual war. Some people don't have no grounding in where their roots from their family. Their family ain't teach them nothing. Their family ain't tell them, their religion. They didn't carry on religion. They was raised through just people having sex and loving each other. And from that point, it doesn't make you any less of a person. But what you do is, when it's your time, you bring something in your journey. You start reading the Bible. You start looking at different religions, and then you'll know what you'll bring into your life. Because when it's your turn to raise your family and have your kids, they'll have that same sense of religion that you once wanted from your family. And you'll have something to leave with them, regardless if you can't leave anything at all. You have a heart, and you have them one, a strong one of these. It's not about this. You can leave your kid a whole bunch of money. And don't you know, if you leave your kid a whole bunch of money and your kid doesn't have this, that's anxiety. You could put yourself sending your kid down the wrong path like that. When you leave your kid with this and have loving their heart, you can go anywhere and leave them anywhere and they'll be all right. That's how it is. Don't let these people fool you out here. That's all I want to tell my people out there. It ain't about the money. We all going through it. Prices is high, man. So we're going to complain about that? Or are we going to sit there and complain with somebody that we love and get through this damn thing? That's what it's all about. Let me just get a little bit of fruits, y'all. I got some pineapples. I have some green apples. What's up, y'all? Oh, you from Blessings. Shouts out to all my peoples in Paris. I love when I hear Paris. Oh my goodness. You see how Paris? I love the stigma Paris carries with it. Love. Ain't that something? Paris carries a stigma of love. You hear Paris, when you two are locked in, you go there, you put your lock on the thing. And even though life might not always be a fairy tale, it's always good to know that there are some fairy tales out there, Don't cross out the things that took people and brought people this far, Don't scratch out the things that we might not be able to see. And because these things, sometimes you can look at the life like, oh, they're going to break up anyway. But nah, not really. When you make these small commitments, they turn into big ones. That's how you see people, they're 90 years old and they're still loving each other sitting on that park bench. That's just how life works, man. Go for the real love, not the artificial stuff, man. You won't be fooled, man. God is good, though. Diddy's facing so many different losses. It's just like Diddy, Diddy, Diddy. Shouts out to Nicki Minaj. I love me some Nicki Minaj because she's always keeping it real. She's always giving you like her real self, I feel. I don't feel like Nicki, I think she's been her true self from the beginning all the way up until this point. And that's a shout to all of the female MCs. It's just, I have nowadays, let me tell you guys, different weeks I go into different artists and maybe I might, talk about this artist more and you'll know in the week I was listening more of the music, maybe more of their interviews and things like that, what's been going on. So I'm giving her a shout out because we're from the same borough as well as she made it. And I'm so happy that, especially as a female in that, could you imagine now that we're understanding what's been going on behind the scenes and all of these names that's been dropping, could you imagine how much harder it is for a female, a beautiful female, a beautiful queen, going into this business and this thing is male drip dominated and you have to maneuver, especially if you have a family outside of the industry. Oh my goodness. I mean, the mental stress on even their partners, not because they don't trust them, it's because they don't trust the people around them. And people get those things confused. It's man, so shouts out to the ladies and all the females that's just been trying to get there and go through all and weave through all of these like these demon men that's just only there but their eyes down there, There's one thing to, have that sexual energy. That's a good thing. Let me tell you, that sexual energy, it moves things, trust me. But at the end of the day, having it with everybody, man, that just devalues your love. It devalues your love. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no reasons to front to you guys. Most of my relationships were relationships. I didn't have a lot of scattered out, like random. I didn't really have a lot of I love relationships. I love putting time into things. Whatever I do, I like to put time into. So it usually, if I jump into something, it's sometimes I could jump in a little too soon, but I always like to take the chance because in the back of my head, I'm saying, well, what if God sent this person to me? So I have a different outlook on how I take in love. The older you get, you give love more of a better chance than the younger you get. You miss out on love walking right by you, in other words. Yeah, it's a Friday though, man. It's a Friday. We gotta bust it up today, man. What's going on, people? Let me see. Hold on. Blessings on me. I'm just turning on this thing real quick. Facts on facts. Facts on facts. I ain't got no reason to lie to you. I'm open to you. I won't be here no way else. I'm open to y'all. I don't mind. I have flaws about me too. We could talk about it. Sometimes in relationships, being that I can read people, Like, I get like super, like my anxiety, like I could love somebody and just be hurt and hurting myself inside, and they ain't do nothing to me. But it's just that I know the people around them are bad spirited, and I don't want that being involved. And sometimes when I think like a person is not on the same love language as me, I feel like it starts hurting me too. I'm like, you didn't see that? That type of stuff. So I have to really step my trust up too, man. I have a problem with trusting people. Even as much as I talk, I have a problem with trusting people because I've been hurt in the past. And how I start my trust with, I would want a person to love me, and even if we gotta, but when I'm loving somebody or giving myself to somebody, I want them to know that I'm not trying to lie to you, deceive you, or none of that stuff. So please have that same respect for me, you know? My whole thing is, a lot of guys don't want to admit this, but it could be like the richest of guys or the whatever they may deem. But there is a sense of friction when it comes to social media, because it's more like we look on social media like, what do the females want? You know, what do you guys want? And we still want to, you know, be there for that. But I feel like you got to know what you want. You got to really know what you want to attract it in these times. You got to really know what you want. Because people could act like whatever you want and just change because it's not in them. So you got to know what you want and know how to identify it. And then once you feel it, you don't want to get rid of it. That's when you plant that love seed. That's when you plant that. Besides that stuff, let me see what else is going on. Hold on. I just wanted to talk a little about relationships and things like that for this Friday. But that Remy, that's gonna turn into something. Shouts out to Tay Rock too. Tay Rock is like one of my favorite battle rappers. I've watched Tay Rock from beginning all the way to now. And his energy is, I will not lose. Love that guy. You guys watch battle rap? They're trying to restructure it now. I feel like battle rap should have like a different section, I feel, in YouTube where the curses, and it's more treated like a sport. But I believe with all these, you know, with the ads and certain ads and stuff on Google are very strict, the guidelines. So, you know, you know how battle rap goes back and forth and things like that. The curses and a lot of the things. But we're going to find a way. We got to find a way to figure things out so everybody can eat the proper way. Shouts out to all my battle raps. Shouts out to Loaded Lux. Shouts out to Good. Shouts out to Cassidy. I think he got about Arsenal. So many. I love all them guys, man. I'm a hip hop head, man. I'm a hip hop head. Let me see something. For my sins. I don't know why I got. You got oily for Diddy? Oh my God. Y'all are crazy. My whole thing is, what's up? Well, they're saying the baby oil now, because before I'm like, what are you using the baby oil for? But they're saying the baby oil, it was, damn, if he could do so much stuff like drugging the baby oil, that means he started getting like, you know, when a person just start like, he's drugging the baby oil, put a little camera there, put a camera, it's like all of that stuff, you're becoming weird, bro. You're doing weird stuff. You're becoming a little, yeah, creepier. It's creepy. It's creepy. He's a creepy guy. He's a creepy guy. People don't understand. You could turn yourself into creepy. It's just, he in love with having a whole bunch of sex, weird. You know, it's nothing wrong with like, because he's a bisexual man, this, you know, that we realize now. You know, we never knew this in the past, but what we realize, he's a bisexual man because he has sex with women as well as men. So if, you know, he wants to live that type of lifestyle, he could have did that safe and stopped drugging people to do it. You know, it's not everybody. I understand there's not everybody out there with a gay sign on their head, but you know, what do you want out of life? Do you want to just go around and keep hurting people? Because some of those people you sleep with and just go on to the next person. Some of those people had love for you, and you just could detach so quick. So when you think those people, you think that doesn't hurt those people, their next relationships, and when they detach, it's like, don't leave that trail behind you. It's not worth it. It's not the thing to do. And you don't. I never want to leave people with like a mindset of thinking of me in a bad way. Like that's just not. That ain't cool. That ain't cool at all. Like he put himself like he done turned the fire on. He put water in the pot and he jumped right in it. He jumped right in it. He jumped right in it. When I tell you, like, I was thinking, I was just thinking, I was like, like, just the outlook of celebrity was so different when I was coming up than what it is now. Now I look more like I want to get to know you. What you said your name was? Okay, cool. I want to get to know you. And I will more dive into that person before I all the way go into their music. Just maybe even if I have to look back and research a couple interviews because I want to know what type of person I'm going to be investing my time here. I'm not trying, I'm serious, y'all. I'm not even, I know for the young folks, it's going to sound like, oh, he's one, but for the grown, y'all know what I'm talking about. That's it. Don't sit well in your life. Don't open your door to that stuff because that stuff is real. That you will not live a happy life thinking and having all that stuff in your head. You will not live a happy life. It's just not, that's not the way, no way. I feel like the more unbothered you are, the more that things don't hurt you and you more concentrate on yourself and your love language. I think that's the way of living your life. And whatever, we all have hurdles. We all want to make some more money, but don't make that you. It's not you. That's society. That's the way the world is. But you and what you have to bring to it, that is what in turn is going to keep you going and sustaining this life. Not whatever money you make. What the hell? Oh my goodness. Life is a learning experience though that we all learning. We all learning, y'all. It's Friday. I want to do this weekend. Excuse me. Why would I not even? Okay, so this episode is sponsored to y'all by Inspired by Dreams. Shop. My brand. I'm having new designs coming for next week, and we're running out. I'm trying to just keep all the heavy stuff. I love designing more heavy stuff than lighter stuff, and it's just because I don't know, it's a lot more room, a lot more space to explore and make new stuff. So I have some ideas that I've been putting down that I just gotta work out some kinks, and next week you guys are gonna have some new things to throw into your closet. Yeah, we live and learn. We live and learn. We live and learn. Nobody will tell you this, but you know what? I feel like I'm at a point in my life where it's not like I'm looking for love, but if I do feel that sense of this is it, I think I will do more in these times than I would have did when I was a younger man because I understand what it is and how important that is to you being, to progress in life and to not, I don't want to say leave back a legacy, but I would just want to say leave back that good energy, and that's all you need, man. That's all you need. Because y'all know how we be, and you know how we came up and how we love us. And you know how them demons and them out there, they looking in and then they trying to get this and they'll take this and that and take it on with their life. But we got to keep our love genuine. And you know how we look on social media, how crazy y'all look when you go out there and doing all that nonsense. We know better. So we got to fix ourselves and make a new resume for ourselves when it comes down. If you're looking for that type of stuff, like loving the real stuff, we got to fix our resume. That's all we got to do because we good people. When we see this stuff on the news, we're like, wow. And it becomes a thing. But at the end of the day, a lot of those, we won't do that to people. We know better. We know better than to drug somebody and take something from somebody that we didn't earn or that doesn't belong to us. These are things that we know because we are good people. Why would you do that? Why would you want to make somebody feel that way? Like, I don't know. 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 But I want to take, excuse me. I want to talk about. There's a few movies coming up that's gonna open your mind. I don't know. I have one movie that I would say you guys look at the trailer of this movie called Baby Girl, and that thing right there. That's like that's something you wanna when you getting to know somebody. It's a love language in that. I don't want to even spoil the trailer, man. That's a really good one. That's steamy. But y'all know what I'm talking about when I say steamy, like Basic Instinct and those. If you like those types of movies, yeah, that's the first thing to do. That movies open you up to see the things that you can see in other relationships. Like, oh, now if this and you'll see there's a lot of things in movies that come to real life because movies like a mirror to it's almost like when you see the movie, by the time you see in the movie, just because it relates to you, no, that was somebody's escape, whether it's their escape how they wanted life to be or their escape of how life was going. And usually that's what connects with people. So you guys got to check that Baby Girl trailer out. There's a few good ones out there. I heard the Joker 2 wasn't, I didn't see the Joker 2, but I heard that was it wasn't good. I don't know. I think the first character in Batman, the Joker, people fell in love with that character so much that just turning that character and trying to highlight just that one character and it's not that person, then it's not gonna beat the Joker that we have in our hearts. And this is not to bring him, but the Joker that Diddy dressed up like, it's not gonna beat that Joker. That's the Joker that everybody has in their heart. There's another series, the Penguin series is out, and that's going around, but I just didn't attach to it all the way, but I'm going to check out a couple episodes this weekend. I might be up to like 3 or 4 episodes because it's a series. He looks kind of scary, but at the end of the day, these are things you want to, open your mind up to some movies and new things. Maybe start something. Maybe I'll start a skincare company. Don't think you can do it. You see Riri the best. You see, just do little things. Even if you journal this weekend, it'll be a good thing. Journal on the things that you want to see yourself doing in 2025, or just some ideas you have. Put them down. Once you write them down, they stick to the paper, Once you type it down, then it can always be erased, That's why I like to write. I put it in ink for it to come to intuition. A lot of people say, you could type it. No, typing, I don't think that really connects that whole, as far as you writing it down the old school way and keeping it on paper and seeing it and bringing that energy. I think it comes from writing it down. I think the ink to paper is what triggers that instead of just typing it. Typing it, it's so many typing. There's no really feeling in typing. Yeah, I'm from New York. Are you from Alpha City? Salute Alpha City. Yeah, I'm from NYC. Yeah, that way. Yep. The real NY. The real NY, man. I love being a New Yorker, man. Being a New Yorker, it feels good because there's a lot of things in New York that I really appreciate, and I'm glad that I'm from here. And you know what I'm learning too? You guys, there's a lot of places that I haven't been, and a lot of places I want to go. You never been in New York? You got to come to New York, man. It's beautiful out here. Now the energy is not as same as it once was in the past, but it's a melting pot, and it's a place where there's still love in the air around the holidays and things like that. People are still holding hands and loving on each other in New York, and there's so many places in Manhattan where on a late night you guys can have the best of times and explore each other out here. It's a beautiful place. There's just so much with this whole immigration and things going on with immigrants coming in, and just the crime. It deters people from going out there and trying to find that love because it's only so much you can do. You can always hold down your lady, but you got people running in groups and they're beating on couples, and it just tears people apart. But what I could say, there's still a lot of places out here that you can explore. We have like theater, and that's why I say open your mind up to new stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you can explore out here and have a good time. And yeah, I love New York. I'm always gonna be a New Yorker. But there's a lot of places I want to go to. I have family in Texas. I've never been to Texas, but I hear so many good things and see so many good things online that I do want to go to Texas too. When it comes to the West Indies, though, you already know. Barbados, I could stay in Barbados. That's my home. I could stay in Barbados, but it'll be a completely different switch from New York because I'm so much of a New Yorker. But I would feel at home, you know. It's just a different pace, a different energy, and as a Bayesian, we always bring love. We always bring love wherever we go as a Bayesian. So, but when it comes to New York, yeah, you gotta visit. You gotta visit. Even if it's not this year and you planning for next year, I hope you plan. You know, it's a beautiful place that you can experience. Even if you just take maybe a week or 2, 3 days, and you know you enjoy yourself, and that's it. You never know. You never know in your travels what can happen. BK. Okay, hold on. BK. Yeah, I love Brooklyn too, though. I have a lot of my family live in Brooklyn, Brownsville, East New York. I used to be all over the place. I met a lot of people I remember in Brooklyn, I met Styles P y'all in Brooklyn at one time. Me and my brother, we met Styles P. He was doing like a book signing back in the day. I met Uncle Murder out there. Um, so many people in Brooklyn, yo. I met a lot of people in Brooklyn. I have a lot of family in Brooklyn. Brooklyn it's different than it once was. And there's a lot of things in Brooklyn you can go visit, and a lot of places that you can go eat and things like that. So Brooklyn it's still Brooklyn, but at the same, everybody's borough has different things about it that you can enjoy. You can guarantee that. Lindenwood. Oh, I never been there. I never ate there. Oh, Illinois. Nice. How is it in Illinois? How's the weather out there? How is it out there? I never been. I remember. I don't want to see. How do I tell y'all without like telling y'all names? I don't like to talk about relationships and stuff like that, as far as like putting people's names in. But let's just say I met somebody from London, right? And they flew out here, and we got up in the city. We was sipping wine. I'm not the biggest wine sipper, but we had a good time. And I have family in London as well too. I have a stepbrother out there. I have a lot of family in London. I love London, but what I like about different places that people understand when they come to New York, they always bring a sense of where they're from with them, and they don't even know it. Whether it be accent, a different way, sense of dressing, or maybe a different way that they eat or what they eat. And those differences, that's what sparks the whole flames. That you got to find people that are willing to explore things with you. Those are the best people. Those shouts out to Illinois though. Is that what it says? Because I'm blind. Yeah. Any of y'all ever been to like Japan or one of those places? You know, when it comes to fashion, that's like a go-to for people. But I never really, I don't know. Drake's dad's mustache. That's the dopest name, man. Oh, St. Louis. The Lou. St. Louis is dope. In New York, men are hitting women upside their head. I don't, so I don't. Let me tell you, I'm still old school. So when it comes down to like the aggressiveness of New York, the as far as like the women, I know that's been a thing y'all hear a lot. Like, oh, women are more aggressive in New York. You gotta love that. Like, I love that aggressiveness. Like, it's almost like who can I like the Mary J. Blige type of. I met. Shouts out to Mary J. Blige. I met her when I worked at Channel 7. But like the Mary J. Blige type, you gotta love that because it's saying that you know you've been through something and you're coming with something and you're not to be played with. I don't mind that type of attitude. It brings strength to the relationship because I'm the type of man that I could soften that up when we get home and them doors close. I'm be honest with you. You could be a cop. You could be you know, it's not once you know, the outside life is the outside life. The inside life is the inside life, and even if you're a king in the bedroom. Oh yeah, so yeah. Oh, with that, so I met with. I'm just type. I'm like at that point in time in my life when she came out here to meet me. I was more open to newer things, and as along the way, my anxiety kept building and building. The more that I've been through, that's where I was ending the story. The more that I've been through, my anxiety kept building, so it kind of held me back from like meeting people. And me opening myself back up, it all comes with like this live and social media, seeing that, wait, hold on, that's not the real them. Oh, I don't want to be that. No, I have to be myself if I'm gonna take the leap, you know. And I never really, we didn't. We had a great time. We had a great time. It was one of those short term. We had a great time though. We really enjoyed each other. We had a really great time. I would say she was a good person. Just wanting to know New York. She loved New York and just showing her different places. Took her from different boroughs, people I knew and things like that. Just showing her a good time. And I think once you get to know people, and you start with the stages of just trying to, you know, having a good time, it can build into something, or sometimes it can go and people take different things from that point in time and they go off into other relationships. But you always, you know, be good to people and leave people on your best, you know. I don't know. I'm off the relationships. I'm off the relationships. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. It's Friday. It's Friday, man. Just want to go into this weekend, man, and just want to feel good about this weekend. Put up some of these designs that I gotta get up there. Switch some things around and just be ready for next week. We got a lot of things coming, man. We got, you know, with that pause thing. I'm getting into the pause now. I'm so late on the pause. So used to just expressing myself and people take it in how they take it, that the pause never came into play in my, you know, but shouts out to my peoples. Yeah, I try to make my conversations a little interesting, but really what I'm doing is I'm just kind of like emptying some cabinets and some things that I have in here so I can leave room for the next things to come, I guess. Got a lot, you know, when your mind is always racing and you're always thinking of different things, sometimes when you structure it, you want to find yourself a little bit more, a little deeper. So I just try to bring these types of conversations. Sometimes I'll write down something that I want to bring to you guys, and I'll write it on like a little piece of paper. And then if I do remember it, I remember it. If not, then I bring it to the next live and things like that. Like for example, if I could rewind back in my head, I was gonna say, you know, when it rains, it pours, but when it pours, it floods. And we're like in like the flooding times right now where it's been raining so much and pouring so much that people are being flooded with the nonsense and the things on social media that ain't really no use to our lives, no use to ourselves. People doing wrong to people. People are getting views off of nonsense but no answers behind it. Even myself, some of the stuff that I see and, you know, I speak on, it's not like it's the most important thing to speak on, but I understand it can become important to the youth because those are only things that they see for now, just for now. Those are the things that they see and they feel that's important to them. So I do have to, you know, still keep an eye out on the things that they're, you know, that they're championing, and still keep a little filter for them to let them know if it is what it is or if it ain't. That's all, you know? Think I'm gonna take a little dip, y'all, get something to eat. Wait, do I have any apples here? But for lunch, I think I'm gonna get a little jerk chicken, some oxtail gravy on my rice. I love y'all for real. I got love for Chicago too. What's up with Lil Reese, man? He always putting his hands on the ladies. Now here he's facing time. The first time I seen him put his hands on a female, I said, you know, because I knew he was younger at that time, but it just didn't sit right with me. I'm like, I hope he doesn't keep up with that. I know they're younger, you know, but now he facing time behind that. Man, you know, God blessed him. He been through so much. God bless him. I could see him. He should have had like a little family now and get on his grown man. Like that's what I used to do, you know. But sometimes the game rigged, man. I pray for all of them though. I never down my own people because everybody got a different start in life, you know. Some people they ain't give them a good chance to start so they could see something bigger than that. They put them in these places and they block off all their hopes and dreams and they expect them to come out, you know, just come out, just be happy and just take what life has to offer. No, they got to figure it out. And you guys made it harder for them to figure out because of their circumstances. And then when they go out there and they're lost, nobody has like a reel to pull them back in and they just keep going and going and going. Usually I see people, you know, when you have that bad energy about yourself, you usually bump into the same energy as yourself. You attract the energy, you know? So if you have that energy out there that, oh, nobody can do this to me, and somebody come up to you and they have that same energy too. So when y'all bump heads, what's gonna happen? That means that two of those type of energies, somebody gotta disappear or fight to the death. And it's not the right way of going about it. But sometimes having that loving energy in the wrongful places, it leaves you vulnerable to people that take advantage of that. We see it in entertainment. We see it. A good example of that is you looking up at your favorite artist and you can't wait to meet them. And then when you do meet them, they're like flirting with you. And you're like, huh? Okay. I mean, I didn't expect that, but like, okay. So you want to, I mean, all right. You know, it's one of those like, just don't, you know, there's love everywhere. And when you do get it, just protect it, you know, just protect it, just protect it. It's scarce, but it's achievable. Man, I don't know. I think this Friday, I don't know if I want to get something to eat first before I even start off. I'm a little and you know, my brother, his birthday was the 16th. And we still got some cake. I'm gonna go upstairs. He had to do something, or I would have brought him in here. Thank you. I wanted to bring something to y'all. Something y'all could take away and feel good about it, but that's where we at, man. I guess my mind was stared off into the relationships just because it's worth it. Why not? Why not? I think I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I'm definitely gonna try to drop. I have something that I've been working on, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it off for this weekend. Maybe for Monday I could get back up with you guys. But I'll be in the comment section. You guys can talk to me. I love you guys. You know that. And if I do have something that I do want to bring to you guys or something just pops up over the weekend, yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna I'll definitely drop it for you guys. And yeah. Love you guys. See you guys Monday, maybe sooner. And this weekend, make sure you just, even if whatever you have to do for this weekend, get it done and find some time to get some peace in your life and figure out some things, maybe the top 5 things that you want to see in your life coming 2025 that you can see yourself accomplishing or at least going towards that, and you'll be good. Thank you. You're always a blessing, always tuning in to me, and I never forget my peoples. You see you? All right, love y'all, and until next time, it's your boy Mickey Fenty, a.k.a. Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now.